As you can see, I'm not home right now, I'm actually dog sitting for Saber. But while I've been here, Detective Pikachu came out, so I went to go see it. It's a live-action Pokemon movie that is loosely based on the game Detective Pikachu. I was wondering how much it would actually follow the game since I did play the game last year. And a lot of people have been anticipating this movie because it could be the one that breaks the video game movie curse of being just horrible and a bad adaptation. Though I've gotta be honest, I don't think this is the one to break it, for the mainstream audience at least. People who grew up with Pokemon and are familiar with Pokemon at least a little bit will probably get some enjoyment out of it. And if you're a bit more of a Pokemon fan, you're going to love it, I think. There are so many extra details about the world and Pokemon that are in the background that you can rewatch this movie and point out things that you didn't see the first time. And I really love that they created their own Pokemon world rather than having, you know, Pokemon come to the real world or something. Like other movies have done with CGI characters like the Smurfs and the Sonic the Hedgehog movie coming out. The movie's story is loosely based on the game's story, and there were certain plot points where I was like, oh, I remember that, but it was kind of like different in the game. They do change it up quite a bit, so if you think you know the plot because you played the game, you might not know it completely. However, the movie's twists are a little predictable. And there was actually something that I thought about the game when I was playing it that actually came true in the movie. Justice Smith and Ryan Reynolds played surprisingly well against one another, especially one of them being a CGI character. And the Pokemon themselves look pretty good. They stay true to the original designs for quite a lot of them. And there are certain favorites that I saw that I really liked the way they looked and the way they moved. And some of them, they look a bit uglier in this real setting rather than in the games or in the anime, but the Pokemon that I'm thinking of are meant to look ugly anyway. I think it's really hard to make a movie about Pokemon without a lot of exposition, because there's a lot to explain about the Pokemon world. Thankfully, a lot of it goes by very quickly, but there are certain things and certain Pokemon that are not explained where I could see an outsider saying, what the hell just happened? If you are familiar with that certain Pokemon, you will know exactly why that happens. I'm being kind of vague because it's a major spoiler and it's like a really funny moment in the movie. But if you're only familiar with the original 151, you'll know which one it is. And the movie does have a lot of stuff for both the old fans of the original Pokemon and the fans of the new ones. Though of course the more popular ones will take front and center. And of course Pikachu will have the most time on screen. I don't think this is going to be the video game movie that will win over absolutely everyone, but for Pokemon fans like myself and a lot of my friends, they'll really like it. The story isn't quite as tight or as emotional that I think it could have been, but for what we got for the first live-action Pokemon movie, we could have gotten a lot worse. So yeah, Detective Pikachu was pretty good and I liked it. So if you have seen Pokemon Detective Pikachu, tell me down in the comments, and tell me what your favorite Pokemon is and if it showed up in the movie. And I will see you next time. Bye!